dinner story. The book that we read today was The Fox and the Grapes. Immediately, let's begin our fresh pasta. The ingredients are very simple. Just flour and egg. And here we are rolling out the dough. We're going to put some flour on it in order so it won't adhere to our... We're going to cut the pasta until we have some fresh pasta strips. And we're going to allow these pasta strips to dry so they'll be ready to put into our pan. So here's our fresh pasta. And what we're going to do, we're going to add the fresh pasta to our pan. And we'll be working on cooking our noodles in a mixture of a creamy Alfredo sauce, cubes of ice. Put cubes of ice in there, and that will allow it, that's a great thickening agent. Butter, and then our fresh noodles. So put the lid on the mixture and allow the mixture to simmer, to heat up a bit and simmer up a bit. Well, it is time to remove our chicken and broccoli packets, and plate up our dinner. So, onto the plate. Let's begin to plate up our dinner. We're going to remove our chicken and broccoli that has been in the oven. We're going to remove that and begin to plate up our dinner. So here is our plate here. We're going to plate up our Alfredo chicken first. Here we have it. Our crispy breaded chicken tenders in a creamy Alfredo sauce over a bed of homemade butter noodles and steamed broccoli. Perfect. Thank you. In this story, a hungry fox saw a bunch of wild grapes. They were juicy and sweet, hanging from a tree, and after trying to jump in the air several times to get the grapes to eat, the fox could not reach them. So he just gave up trying and walked away. But did not just quietly walk away after being embarrassed. No, the fox said a smart and rude comment first and then walked away. The story reads, a hungry fox saw some fine bunches of grapes hanging from a vine that was trained along a high trellis, and did his best to reach them by jumping as high as he could into the air. But it was all in vain, for they were just out of reach. So he gave up trying and walked away with an air of dignity. Stern remarked, I thought those grapes were ripe, but I see now they are quite sour. Let's read that again. Again, this is Aesop Fables, The Fox and the Grapes. Let's read this fable again. A fox saw some fine bunches of grapes hanging from a vine that was trained along a high trellis, and did his best to reach them by jumping as high as he could into the air. But it was all in vain, for they were just out of reach. So he gave up trying and walked away with an air of dignity. Unconcerned, remarking, I thought those grapes were ripe, but I see now they are quite sour. Now, we could begin our discussion of this fable with the grapes being high above in a tree. The law of gravity calculates to this equals to this, this, and this. But again, we are aiming for early study skills, adult literacy, goal completion. We've all been there, reaching for something that was out of reach. Christmas cookie at the top of the refrigerator. Your phone charger that is laying on the floor, not within reach from your bed. Or trying to ride a bike for the very first time, but you keep falling down. These are well-known examples of where you Keep trying and trying for something, but you keep failing at first. Do you just give up or do you just keep trying? Maybe if you keep trying and don't quit, you may actually win. Can't reach the grapes. He convinces himself that they're probably sour anyway. This shows how people sometimes pretend they don't want something when they actually do. They actually would not mind possessing the item. Frustration and disappointment abounds. When faced with a problem such as this, you must first ask yourself some identifiable questions. For example, if a goal is out of reach financially, is this goal obtainable through education, hard work, family resources? You never want to waste your time focusing on an unobtainable goal. Only the goals that you're able to obtain. So that new house you want, that new car, that morning trip to the coffee shop. These goals require you to not so easily give up. We highlighted some very good points. There you have it. We completed a chapter in a book. We not only read the chapter, but we analyzed it, discussed it in great detail, answered questions. So don't just give up learning how to read, learning how to complete a book, learning how to drive, learning how to ride a bike, learning math. Keep trying so you can learn another new skill after that one. These are life lessons learned from Aesop's Fables themselves that you share with your own family members. Or you learn about these fables like we're doing here. You analyze them, you read them, you question, you apply them to your everyday life. Remember that these are old stories passed down from generation to generation. You'll find in life and in education that one new complex skill builds from learning an earlier, more simple skill, and so on and so forth. Instead of giving up, what could the fox have done differently? Maybe the fox could have shaken the tree until the grapes fell out. The fox could have gone to get a ladder or to stand on the ladder safely and then get the grapes down from the tree. Or do like we used to do back in the old days, was even taking off your shoe to throw at the grapes in the tree, and that would cause the grapes to fall down to the ground, perhaps. So thinking of safe ways to retrieve a prize gets the brain going. So let's talk about the value of the mindset that the apple does not fall far from the tree. Yes, apples and grapes are different types of fruit, but the same lesson could be applied here. The phrase, the apple does not fall far from the tree, means that we share qualities with the people who raised us. These qualities can be how we talk, what makes us laugh, what we care about, how we solve problems. Every member in a family can grow in new directions while honoring where we came from. Your great-great-great-grandparents on their quest to learn farm labor, manual labor, education felt that Aesop's fables were important talking points to share with their family, friends, and church community. And here you are today learning this same skill, this same story. So, The apple not falling far from the tree is like the grapes dangling high above in the tree in their purple glory. Like a branch that is in your family tree, we oftentimes share things with the people who raised us, like our smile, our laugh, the way we see the world, our choice to be upstanding, educated, supportive citizens. So, being resourceful with the good that has been given unto us, like kindness, courage, and creativity, lets those things grow even stronger. Remember, your parents, your grandparents, your family has invested a lot of time and effort into shaping your life, your roots. They matter. Your story matters. You have the power to grow into something strong, something beautiful, something uniquely you. Being aware of your surroundings is another life lesson learned in The Fox and the Grapes. Being aware of your surroundings is a powerful way to take care of yourself. Always looking both ways before crossing the road or driving into a street intersection. A squirrel running across the road, a heavy object placed high above one's head without proper barriers, guardrails, screws, an aggressive neighborhood dog that is unchained in the community, walking safely at night to your car, your dorm room, or your home. Check your surroundings as you're walking. It doesn't mean that you're scared. It doesn't mean that you're expecting something bad to happen. It simply means you're paying attention to what's going on around you so you can move with confidence. When we stay aware, we notice things like who is nearby, where our exits and safe spaces are, how a situation feels in our body when something is off or unusual. Our bodies are blessed with 5 instincts: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Our instincts are wise and they are there to protect us. If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to pause, stop, ask for help. Listening to your intuition is not overreacting. It is being responsible for your well-being. Okay, so let's switch gears here and go into another lesson learned in this fable, and our last lesson, and that is watching what we say to ourselves and to people. Not being rude to your family, teachers, neighbors, your community when walking, working, and driving about during our daily lives every day, Monday to Sunday. And that is watching what we say to ourselves and to people. Not being rude to your family, teachers, neighbors, your community when walking, working, and driving about during our daily lives every day, Monday to Sunday. So in the fable, we notice that when the fox can't reach the grapes, he convinces himself that they're probably sour anyway. This shows how people sometimes pretend they don't want something when they actually do. They actually would not mind possessing the item. Frustration and disappointment abounds. When faced with a problem such as this, you must first ask yourself some identifiable questions. For example, if a goal is out of reach financially, is this goal obtainable through education, hard work, family resources? You never want to waste your time focusing on an unobtainable goal. Only the goals that you're able to obtain. So that new house you want, that new car, that morning trip to the coffee shop. These goals require you to not so easily give up. You won't be able to attain these goals with a rude, smart, sassy mouth. So we've actually completed a story in its entirety. Yay! We've actually completed a story in its entirety. Woo! Hooray! Yay! We highlighted some very good points in this story, and there may have been some that were left out. If you can think of some good points to ponder that would give this lesson an added extra layer of depth, add it to the comment section below. And there you have it. We completed a chapter in a book. We not only read the chapter, but we analyzed it, discussed it in great detail, answered questions. I would like to thank you for joining me today at Happy Birthday Saturday. Thank you for helping me for future fables. Again, we're going to come back and read the fables, read some of the popular fables, analyze them, and complete these chapter books. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mr. Benjamin. Thank you, good evening, and good night.